Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of the TeSys Tera training. I'm your host, Jan Normal, and in this video what we're gonna see is how to use the operating mode as digital input on the TeSys Tera. So let's go to the presentation. I'm just going to put myself there. Yeah, brilliant, good. So in the previous video we saw that we have different sources in order to indicate how we can select different start and stop, different sources for those, and how we can change between them. That was like a overview. So now what we're going to do is to explain how to use the operating mode as a DI. Okay, so on the mode selection inside the settings, let me just put the pen. Here we have different modes for selection. We have the HMI, we have the IOs, and we have the communications. On this video, I'm going to focus only for the digital IOs, because otherwise it's going to be like too much. So I'm going to explain only the digital inputs part. Okay, so what we need to do is to select the mode selection as a DI. So the DI will swap the different local start and local stop that we have. So when we select the DI, then what we need to do is to assign to one or two digital inputs this mode selection 1 and mode selection 2, and it's like a table. So if I have these two mode selection and both of them are false, then the one that's going to remain for the source, for the local, is the local one. If I select the mode selection and put a true on that one, okay, the one that's going to take control is going to be the remote. And if I use the selection 2 in 1 and the other one 0, it's going to be the local 2, start and stop. And if I use both in true, then the local 3 is going to be the one. Okay, so this is how it works on when the mode selection is in digital input. Okay, so imagine that you want to control this always from the PLC. Imagine. Okay, so this is going to be in 0. Okay, imagine that you have PLC and you have the local IO. So in that case, you can have this one only. Okay, and when the PLC dies, okay, by any reason, then you can probably have a switch on front of the panel for the TeSys Tera, and when that one's true, then the source for the start and stop will be the one located on the remote side. Okay, and that could be probably a switch or a push button on the cabinet. Okay, so in this particular case, this is an example. We just need to go and make it run in this way. Okay, so I'm going to use the mode selection as a DI for digital input, and then the start stop, I'm going to do something similar. So I'm going to use just one input and define the local digital IO to control and stop. And then on this one, I'm going to select none, and then for the remote, I'm going to use the HMI. So every time I'm going to use the switches in front of my demo case, and if something weird happen, I can go there and use the digital input, the HMI. So this is what we need to do, but don't worry, I got it covered. So I'm going to create a new project, TeSys Tera. Next, here I'm going to use, or I'm using this one in my case. Okay, and this one is okay. So parameter list, this one is single phase, voltage 230, otherwise it will give me under voltage. Okay, yes. Protections, additional functions, maximum number of start. I'm going to disable this so I can play plenty of time with this. It's okay. So let's go to our point now. So started function setting, started settings. Here I'm going to leave this direct online. No worries, just keep direct online. Here in the mode selection, I'm going to use, by default is disabled, so even if you assign by default it's already assigned an input for this in this mode for mode selection, which is the input number 4, but it's not going to do anything because it's disabled. So always going to be these 3 modes. Okay, so by default, the start and stop will come always from the communication, I/O, or for the HMI. But I'm going to change this to be only on the local DI, and then the remote, I'm going to use the HMI. The reason I'm using the HMI on the remote is that in front of the HMI itself, we have some LED that says local and remote. And even if I select different locals, it will always show as a local on the LED. And if I use remote for the HMI, it will show the lights from the remote side. That's why I'm doing it that way. And then here I'm going to use the digital input as a mode selection. So using a digital input, I will select from the start and the start source and the stop source. Okay, and then going to okay, that's it. There is another video for this, for the bump. So basically, bump and bumpless is when you change the difference. When you change different sources, you just keep the command for start. Okay, otherwise when you change and it's running, it will stop. That will be basically that, the bump and bumpless. Bumpless will not stop on the transition, and bump it will stop. We need to double check now on the settings. So input 1, start, stop. The number 3 doesn't do anything. This one, it would be the mode selection. So depend on this one, it will help me to change things. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to connect to, where is the cable now? There is a cable. So now I'm going to plug it into the, you aren't seeing anything. So this is the cable. Now what I'm going to do is to put it on the, here. I'm going to communicate and load this new configuration into the unit. Okay, and scan is fine. Then I'm going to connect, store to device. I'm going to store this information to a device. So something very important is that I will probably, okay, and then I'm going to connect and store to the device. So something that it may happen is that as soon as we download the new different configuration for the start type, it may need to restart. So it can probably take like 2 minutes until it boots up again, at least with this version of the firmware I have with me right now. For the beta test, it will probably take up to 2 minutes. You can see here now all the LEDs has been off from the status. Then it will boot up. I lost communication with the device, which is fine. And then it just needs to boot up. So I'm going to remove this. Just wait for this to boot up again. Okay. So we just need to wait, and it takes like 2 minutes, more or less. So I'm going to put this here and going to put in run just for you to see how much does it takes. I'm going to stop this video, this part of the video. Okay, so it seems to be trying to recover right now. Okay, so I'm going to stop this. You can see that the time has flied. So I'm going to connect this one here back again, which is going to be the display. You're not going to probably see that much. Let's see. No, you're gonna see that well. You're going to trust me. Okay, so here we have the following. You have here a LED that points to the local and the other one to a remote. So if I press what is the input number 4, okay, don't pay attention what the message says here at the bottom. And this one is linked to the selection. So if I press this one, you should be able to see over here how the light change. Okay, and that is the indication of the mode. So right now it's under control over digital input. So if I press the digital input 1, which is this one, it will run the motor. Okay, now if I select this one over here, it will change. So pay attention to here. Oh, let's just go to trip. Don't worry, I'm going to put it again. So run, pay attention to here. I'm going to press this one and the light should be go to the other side. Means that and press it again. So it changed. So now what I'm going to do is to change this again. You can see that now it's in the remote and the remote is controlled for the HMI. So if I press what you're gonna see, if I press this, it doesn't do anything at all because the control is now on the HMI. So if I go to the HMI and press run, it will run, and I haven't pressed the other one. Okay, now I'm going to stop it. If I stop over here using this, it doesn't do anything because the control is on the other side. So let me just put it back again. Now it's going to remote, make it run, and now I'm going to stop it from here. Okay, and it's a stop. And now I'm going back to local and running from here. So it's simple as that. We just need to to know the things where it coming from. We just need to be very careful where the selections came from. So what is important here is, just minimize this. What is important here is to understand how the mod selection is assigned to which input, so we can have this combination. Okay, it's up to you to select which one is going to be the source. And I believe I didn't mention it. Here on the local, you have like plenty of things to select. Okay, you have custom logic, you have a lot of things. So this is something you need to be very careful. You have a lot of things to select. Again, local plus one plus the other one plus communication. So this is the thing that you need to be careful on the selection. But it's very straightforward once you know. Okay, so this is the mode selection as a digital input. I you saw is very straightforward. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video, and I see you on the next one.